Good morning, welcome back. Well, joining us is a regular on the show, Dr. Dan Kehres. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
Now, you always have such helpful information, and what I love about today's segment, it's very preventative.
Absolutely.
So tell us about this.
Especially this time of year. I mean, it's very icy out, it's slippery out, and one of the main causes for death among people over 65 is falls.
Wow.
And so doing anything to prevent that would be very important for anyone's health, because if you fall and you break your hip, a lot of complications can come along with that, especially if you're 65, 75, or 85. So a big problem is people, when they're older, they tend to get up at night to go to the bathroom, and when they do that, it's very dark in their house, so they can't see.
Yeah, so let's show folks, hold this up for me if you will, while you're talking.
We'll go and do some examples. This is just one device, but when it's dark at night, you're actually using a different part of your brain to walk. And so when you're doing that and you close your eyes, your balance is different. So a simple exercise is simply standing on one foot. We're not going to use this yet.
Okay.
So standing on one foot and just balancing is a way to activate your nervous system and control your balance, and then closing your eyes.
I'm going to try that, even though I'm wearing heels. I'm going to try it. So go ahead.
Opening and then closing your eyes, standing on one foot, you're going to start to get wobbly in there. And so that's one simple exercise to do.
Okay.
And then the other thing would be, if you're using something like this is a balance disc, and we talked about this. This is a little bit more advanced. You can get this for about $20 at a sporting goods store, and it's just what it looks like, and it has air in it. And then what you can do is, if you had a little wall, what you do is you just stand on it, and you would balance on it, just like this. And then when you get good at that, then what you do is you start using it with your eyes closed. And
so usually at this disc you think of athletes, but you're saying that older folks, elderly, very important to do these types of exercises to prevent a fall from happening. Why wait? Why wait? Okay.
And so it's very important. Start with the ground, and once you get good at standing on the ground with one foot and closing your eyes, then start upgrading and using something like a balance disc, because then it can really help with your leg muscles and your ankles and your knees as well.
That's a great idea. So viewers that are listening, if they want to give their parents something that can actually be beneficial to their health, this is a great idea.
Yeah.
It's called the balancing.
So just a balance disc is what this is.
20 bucks, Walmart, where? Buy it anywhere?
Sporting goods stores usually have those for you.
Very cool. Dr. Kehres, always a pleasure. Great information.
Welcome back, everybody. We're with Dr. Dan Kehres. He's a Saginaw chiropractor, and he's kind of he's really into health and nutrition. And today he's talking about a big problem for seniors, and really for anybody, and that is balance. Why is that such a big deal?
The number one cause of death over people 65 years old is related to falls. They have a fall, they have an injury, and then they get, if they have surgery, they have an infection or something that goes along with that. So it's a big problem.
So you brought along this thing. What is this?
This is a blue balance disc. The good thing with this thing is that it's something that's only $20. You can get it at a sporting goods store. You put it on the ground. You usually use a wall or something to hold on to start with. And then all you do is you stand on it, and what it's going to do is stimulate your body, and it's going to help you balance on there. So
both feet?
You can start with both feet if you want. You want to build up to one foot at a time, but what it's going to do, it's going to keep your body off-centered, and it's going to really activate a lot of muscles that you're not used to using. And so when it's icy outside, a lot of people have a tendency, they slip, and if you're not good at catching your balance, you can go down. So another thing you want to do is always take really small steps when it's icy or slippery outside.
It happened to a person who's very close to me. She fell in the ice.
Yeah.
And you're saying go little tiny baby steps.
Small little steps, and then also really work on strengthening your legs. So this is one way to stimulate your muscles, but just grabbing a general chair and practicing sitting down and getting up is very important, because a lot of people have a hard time doing this without using their arms.
Well, you were saying at night, seniors, should they get up and they maybe go to the bathroom, and they're not used to.
And when it's dark and you're not using your vision, you're using a different part of your brain, and so people just don't practice using that part of their brain. So doing this same exercise with your eyes closed would also be very important as well.
I've seen this at the health club, and I didn't know what they were for. You say athletes use these as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Kids that are in their teens all the way. I have people, 60, 70, 80 years old that will use that standing on a wall to help with their balance or their ankles or their knees.
I feel like I'm surfing.
And another good thing is that if people fall on the ground and they can't get up, that's a big issue. So practicing getting on the ground and getting up off the ground is very important as well.
Is there a way you get up? I mean, is there any tip there real quick?
Yeah, I mean, the best thing is just to go and get onto your knees first, and then work on getting up off your knees.
All right, Dan, good advice for if you fall. It could happen to anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jason, where are you?
Hopefully you don't fall.
Am I in your area, man?
You're in my area,
Oh,
so I'm
sorry.
over in the weather center.